past. We're focused on what's happening now, and that's SC on Saturday. We're not worried about how we played last week versus OU or how we played last year or 2 years ago. The national championship games. We're not worried about that. We're just worried about the present, and that's SC.
Collectively, did you guys' confidence take a hit last week?
I don't think so, because when you look at the film, we made little uncharacteristic errors. That's probably not going to happen again. We addressed those errors, and I think we'll be fine now.
Larson, did coaches talk to you about using the frame and just batting the ball? Obviously, you had an interception last week. Because you can't get there every time, but you can maybe disrupt the passing game, just get your fingertip.
Yeah, we definitely do.
You can do?
Yeah, we definitely do drills in practice. Working on low blocks and getting our hands up for the quick passes. So we work on that, a few times a week, and I think it paid off. Last week.
Does USC, from my recollection, they do some of that too? Don't
Yeah,
they?
they do
Quick
everything.
out in the flat.
They do quick passes, they do bubble passes, they do everything. They do whatever they have to do to get their athletes in space and make them make plays.
What kind of atmosphere are you expecting Saturday night?
Crazy. We're in LA. 1 versus 5. I think it's going to be a tremendous atmosphere.
Different than what you see at home?
We have a crazy atmosphere here also, but it's going to be different because it's a away game. We're playing in a different environment, so I would say it'd be different.
Lawrence, is it extra special for you knowing what you know about their defensive unit and you guys on the defensive side going up against each other?
To be honest, we didn't really. We heard about them, but we're not keen on that. We're not worried about what they do on defense. We're just worried about their offense and our offense to take care. What they have to take care of as far as their defense.
How does this group of skill players that SC have compared to maybe the LSU skill guys last year at Florida's from a couple of years ago? I realize you haven't seen them in person, but what you've seen on film, how do they compare?
They're similar because they make plays. They get them on bubble screens. They make plays, they make people miss, and they have a lot of them, just like LSU and Florida. They're similar athletes because they're fast and shifty. So I think they're similar in a lot of ways.
Lawrence, could you talk about your interception?
I just saw that rusher from the outside. I knew the quarterback was going to pass it quick, so I tried to get my hand up and I tipped it. I caught it. I started running. I didn't know I got an interception until they started celebrating, and then it just hit me. I just got an interception.
And it almost happened again.
Yeah, it almost happened again. The second time it caught me off guard. So I
In retrospect, was it a thing of beauty?
That's where it's going, Timmy.
I think it could be, because it got our defense, excited. It got us a turnover.
How much grief have you gotten for not scoring?
A lot of grief. I'm getting phone calls. My teammates give me a hard time, telling me to keep my head down when I run, and I thought I was faster than that. They give me a hard time, but I know it's all in fun.
Lawrence, you guys defensively, what did y'all come out of Saturday? What was y'all's frame of mind going into this week? I mean, y'all had a pretty good game, except for a couple of drives and stuff. I mean, where are y'all at mentally, I guess?
Mentally, we know we have to stay disciplined versus SC. We made a lot of mistakes versus OU. We had a lot of letdowns, and we know if we stay disciplined, everything will work out in his favor.
When you watch Sanchez on tape, he seems to be pretty mobile, more than John David Booty was the last couple of years. Well, what just jumps out to you about Sanchez, their quarterback?
He's poised. He's like a veteran. He runs the offense very well. He picks his reads and he reads them good. They had a tremendous performance versus Virginia. They played a good game, so we have our hands full.
I was trying to remember. Did you ever meet him when he was getting recruited here?
Nah, never met him.
Never met him.
What effect, Lawrence, they can bring so many tailbacks in, and you guys can too. What effect does that, if any, have on a defense? Can you not worry about different little nuances that running backs have, or do you pay attention to that?
I mean, as a D-line, we really can't, focus on the running backs. It's more linebackers can focus on that. But, it gives different looks. Shiftier guys, you got to do this thing, and stronger guys, you got to do this thing. So I think the linebackers keep more on the running backs. We keep more on the different quarterbacks. They're probably putting new ones in, but I think the linebackers take care of that.
Coach talked about how dangerous offenses can be when you can do a lot of different things with all your personnel groupings. Do you see that on film with USC? They're a threat to run any play with any group of people out
I
there?
definitely think that because they have 4 good running backs. They have a ton of receivers, and what they do is they get their athletes in space and make them make plays. So they can throw in any guy, and they're all good. I see that they reload, so they're all good players. So we have a big challenge.
In that respect, how much is their speed a concern?
We're fast too. We're not too concerned about their speed. We're more concerned about staying disciplined and doing what we're supposed to do.
Well, you talk about 4 running backs, and maybe they go 6 deep at receiver. In a way, does that almost make it easier to scout because it really doesn't matter who's in there; they're all going to be players?
I never even thought of that, actually. I would think it'd make it harder because you have more guys to key on. But you know, I see it could be easier because everybody's going to be good, so you don't have to worry about, you know, a letdown from any of them.
I think they've lost one home football game in something like 7 years. I wonder, as you all read that, and you read, I mean, obviously you read, you're humans, you know exactly what people might be saying about the game. I wonder how that adds to your excitement to go out there and try to do something that a lot of people might say they're not sure you can do.
I mean, we're not worried about that. You know, we hear about the things, but you know, we don't read too much of it. We know what we have to do. We keep what we have to say inside our locker room, and we know we have a tremendous challenge on Saturday. And I think if we stay disciplined, we can take care of business.
Are you a big Carson Palmer fan?
No, not at all.
Bugs,
Not at all.
Bugs, can I ask you, the Virginia tape, it didn't seem like Virginia got much pressure at all on Sanchez. How important will that be for you guys to go with him when he rolls out and all the other things that he does and just exert pressure on him?
I think that'd be a big thing because, you know, he runs their offense. You know, he's a poised quarterback, and he knows what he's doing. He knows the offense very well. And you saw once he got in rhythm, it was extremely hard to stop him. So we feel like we have to affect him in order, you know, to stop their offense.
Do you feel like the front has stepped up these first 2 games and made some things happen? Only 3 sacks in 2 games, but I mean, you had your interception. I mean, are some things happening up front maybe that we're not seeing? I guess I don't know. What do you
I think so. You know, we're more of an experienced group compared to last year. You know, productivity-wise, we're not there yet, but I think we can get there. You know, we give great effort, and you know, it's all a matter of time before, you know, we start clicking and things start working out.
How much does Donald Washington want to get on the field? I know you probably ran him a little bit, but just, you know, if you've been talking to him,
Yeah, I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
It's killing him. You know, he's a competitor. He wants to play. You know, it's killing him. I can see it. You know, in this play, he wants to play.
What does his return mean this week, though, for the defense, Lawrence? I mean, just from a standpoint of depth and things like that, what does it do for you guys knowing you got him back? You know,
It's big because, you know, he's a 2-year starter. You know, he's a good player. You know, it's big for him to return. You know, because he's definitely going to contribute something to our defense.
Is this the game that you had circled? I mean, is this the game everybody came back for? All those guys, I mean, all those juniors, the seniors that, you know, they could have left. And,
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say this is the reason why they came back, you know, because we're playing a lot of big games. But, you know, this is a big game. You know, it's a real big game. You know, playing in LA, you know, 1 versus 5. You know, it's a tremendous challenge for our team. You know, it's a big game. I think we're excited for it.
For you personally, how exciting is this? I mean, it's been a while since you kind of were in one of these marquee games because of the injury and being back. I mean, just to be in a game like this for you personally, how excited are you?
I'm pretty excited. You know, I don't even sleep good at night. You know, thinking about, you know, Saturday and what's going to happen and how we're going to play. And it's a big game, man. We're so excited to play in the game. You can see it, you know, in practice where everybody's excited about practicing and everything. So I think we're going to be ready.
were you sleepless in New Orleans knowing you weren't going to play? I mean, last year, you know what I'm saying? I mean, was it killing you also?
That was killing me also. I didn't know I wasn't going to, like, I was thinking about, you know, playing
in
New Orleans because it was killing me just watching. But I knew I couldn't play. I knew I shouldn't have played, so it worked out.